As you come in, find your space. As you come in, find your space. As you come in, find your space. Find your space. If you can, I will put your water bottles behind the curtain. You ain't gonna need those right now. Get that last little sip in. Find your space. As you come in, find your space. Find your space. Find your space, wherever you think your space is. Find your space. This is your space. Find your space. Find your space. Each time I say find your space, some of you fidget a little bit. Find your space. Try not to have your hands in your pockets. This is your space. You two know each other. Find your space. Find a space. It's a whole big space. Where is your space? Those who are online, find your space. If it's in your garage, if it's in your room, if it's on the kitchen floor while the kids are upstairs asleep, find your space. Find your space. Find your space. Mr. Brandon, you might want to put your water behind the curtain. Find your space. Allow yourself to be. Don't think. Some of you all don't know what's going on. Be uncomfortable in that moment. Find your space. Find your space. Everyone just take a deep breath. I'm not sure what you came in here with. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Don't think. In. Out. You're not breathing. In. No, but you're not breathing. In. Out. In. Out. Take a deep breath. Majority of the time, we never give ourselves the liberty to just breathe. We're thinking about, what am I going to do next? How am I going to pay this? Is this relationship going to work? I'm tired of doing this. This is your time to find your space. Some of us still wonder why we are not getting picked, but when you come into the room, your space is in the back of the room. Where is your space in life? Find your space. Young lady in the green, that's not your space. You know that. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. When you came in, you knew that wasn't your space. Where's your space in this room? What do you feel like your space is at in this room? You don't know right now. That's a good answer. I want you to go between these two. Right there. Blue and the gray and the white shirt. Okay. We're getting ready to get into the work. Now everybody take a deep breath. A deeper breath. Try to have your hands out of your pockets. Try to unfold your hands. Take a deep breath. Find your space, Mr. Anthony. Deep breath. We can't get started until you guys start to let go. Everybody has to be on one accord. Deep breath. Feel the silence of the room. Stay in that place. No dapping up. Find your space. Do not ruin the work. Take a deep breath. We're going to start with our sound. And Mr. Kimlaya, you're going to start us off. Somebody fix this mic so it's not chopping. You can come right here. I need you to make this wall feel you. Whatever sound comes out is what comes out. Keep going. Bring it to a 2. Find a way to get to the wall. Use your sound. Stay right there. Go to red. Your number is 6. Your number is 7. Your number is 8. Your number is 9. Your number is 10. Find a way to get to the wall. Find a way to get to the wall. Break the wall, Kimlaya. Stay right there. Bring it to a 1. Bring it to a 1. Your color is yellow. You find something beautiful about the wall. The wall used to be good to you. Come. Stay there. Find a way to touch him without touching him. Only your sound. Go to red at a 5. Let that sound out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Bring it to a 10. Let it out. Everything out. Make him feel you. Bring it to a 2. Your color is blue. Find a way to walk over there. Or crawl over there, actually. Get just close enough that you can touch him, but you don't touch him. Freeze. Find a way to turn around, Kimlaya, at your own speed, at your own pace. You can feel something at your foot. Maybe speed that turn up just a little bit, maybe at a 2.5. pull it back. Use your breath. Find a way to connect in your eyes. Find a way to let out a sound, both of you all at the same time. The level will be at a 10 on my count. When I get to 3, you'll be at a 10, and you will let out a sound. 1, 2, 3. Stay there. Find a way to hug her. Find a way. Find a way. Don't rush it. Stop.
Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go?
Freeze. Archie, replace Kimlaya. Oh, we getting into the work.
Why did you let me go?
Use your sound, Archie.
Why did you let me go? Why did you let me go?
Stay there. No words need to be said. It's on you, Archie. Great. Let's pair up. Good job. Let's pair up. Now we get into it. Find a partner. 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 Okay. So who's going to be our ones? If you, all our ones, say it again. No. Okay. Come right here. Yeah. One, 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 one. So all my ones, you're going to begin holding hands, locking eyes. Remember, let go. Let go. Don't think. Let go. So our ones, you're going to begin, both hands please. You're going to begin with laughter. Begin. Bring that laughter to a 5. I need more. 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 I need it at a 10. Bring it to a 10, please. Bring it to a 10. Make the whole room feel you. Bring it to a 10. Stop. Unfortunately, the space doesn't believe you. Your partner may, but the space doesn't. You're at a 10. Let her laugh out. There we go. Let her laugh out. Go somewhere. Go somewhere and you're laughing. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Go to a place. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Switch. Now the 2s. The 2s. Start at a 1. Go to a 2. Go to a 3. Go to a 4. Go to a 6. Go to a 7. Go to an 8. Go to a 9. Go to a 10. Go to 11. Go to a 12. Go to a 13. Go to a 14. Bring it to a 1. Go to the color blue, 2s, and there's sadness. I want it at a 1. Bring it to a 2. That's more like a 4.5. I need a 2. Look at him in the face. Bring it to a 5. Everyone else stop, just this group right here that I'm with. Stay in it though. Bring it to a 6. Bring it to a 7. Try to find a way to stand. Look at him. Bring it to a 1. I don't want a word. I don't want a word. Bring it to a 0. Bring it to a 3. Go back to a 1. Bring it to a 6. Bring it to a 4. Bring it to a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. Unlock hands. You still at a 7. Find a way to rest your hand on his heart when you're ready. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Everyone else should still be in it. You should still be finding somewhere to go. Go somewhere, Mr. Anthony. Find some place to go. She still hasn't put that hand on your heart. That means she's still not believing you yet. Find somewhere to go. Find somewhere to go. Tova, your color is red. You're at a 10. That's not a 10, Tova. That's not a 10. Don't act. You don't need to hold their hands. That's not a 10. Come on, Tova. Come on, Tova. Come on. Back up, Tova, 3 feet. They should be able to feel you. Stop, Issa. Join that group. You're at a 10. You're at a 10 before you even get over there. To the wall, Tova. To the wall. I'm sorry, Issa. To the wall. To the wall. Find a way to get to the wall. Find a way to get to the wall. Find a way to touch that wall. Bring me to a 3. Bring me to a 3. Now walk back over there to 3. Don't think. Laughter. Back to the wall, Issa. Back to the wall. Freeze. Brandon to Issa's position, where she's at. Issa, I didn't tell you to go anywhere. Everyone's still in it. Find a way to laugh at that wall, Brandon. I want you at a 10. That's more like a 5. I need you at a 10, please. Come on, I need you at a 10. I need you at a 10. You're still at a 5. I need you where Brandon is. I need you at a 10 in laughter. Stay right there. Find a way. Freeze. Your line is, I hate all of you.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 3.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 4.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 6.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to an 8.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10. I don't want you to think.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to a 10.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to 11.
I hate all of you.
Bring me to 11.
I hate all of you.
You're not at 11. Bring me to 11, please. Bring me to 11, please. I need you to let it out. You have a lot of power in you. I need 11. Don't think. Let it out. Bust through that block. Let it out. Let it out. On my count. When I say 1, I want you at 11. 1.
I hate all of you!
More. There's more there. There's more there. Give it to me again. Give it to me again. Give it to me again.
I hate all of you.
Give it to me again.
I hate all of you!
Bring me to a 5. Sadness.
I hate all of you.
Look into that camera. Make that camera feel everything you feeling right now.
I hate all of you.
Very good. Your new line is I love you. Archie, here, please. Say that to him. Your line, Archie, is I hate you. Again.
I hate you.
Again.
I hate you.
Find a way to let the hand go and start to back up from her.
I hate you.
Don't let her hand go. Hold her hand. You let it go.
I hate you.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Stay there. Sorrel. Sorry, I'm starting to learn all you guys' names now. Come here. Right here. Your line is I hate you. I want you at a 5. This is going to go quick.
I hate you.
That's like a 2.
I hate you. I hate you.
Bring it to a 10.
I hate you.
Bring it to a 12.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Good. Good. Your line is who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Each time she says that, I want you to laugh.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Make her uncomfortable with your laugh.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Good. I want everybody to circle up. Quick, we're going to move fast. Quick, quick, quick. Still got a lot of blocks to get through. So we're going to start off with rage, because rage is the easiest color to get to before we get into other exercises. But I need y'all to let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. The space must fill you. Let go. We'll start at 1. The emotion is rage, the color is red. So I need you to let go. We're all in this circle together. Let everything go. 1. You're just using your sound. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Put it in your body. Put it in your body. Put it in your body. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1. Lock eyes with this gentleman here. Keep going. Y'all stay in it. You're at a 7. You're at a 1. You're going to stay at a 7. Each time I count, you're going to find a way to get over there. You should be over there by 10. 1, 2, freeze. Bring me to a 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Outmatch him. Give him more. Give him more. Give him all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Freeze.
I love you.
Very good. Back to the circle. I want you at a 10 in rage. I'm going to count you up, so when I get to 10, you should be at a full 10. I'll tell you when to go in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Freeze. Keep it. Keep it. Same color, red, rage. Find your way to her. On my count. 1, 2, 3. Don't think. 4, 5, 6. Let everything out. Everything you've been through in your life, let it out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Keep going. I didn't tell you to stop. Freeze.
I don't give a fuck. 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 I don't give a fuck.
To the wall. Find somewhere to go. To the wall. I love you is your line. Ooh, okay. Just one time. If you really believe it, it should only be one. You might want to remove your shoes. What do you feel?
I'm getting over the anger. I don't know, just a release. some things trying to come out.
Why are you holding on to it?
Because I don't know how to, I guess. I'm always holding things in, so I'm trying not to lose control.
Can you lose control for a second? There's nobody here. Can y'all slide over just a little bit? There's nobody here. You don't give a fuck. There's nobody here. I want that wall to feel everything that you've been feeling for the past 10 years. And I'm going to start you at 1. Even the one that is online right now, go to the same place with her. 1. I don't even want any words. I want rage, and then we'll get to blue, then we'll get to yellow, then we'll get to purple, we'll get to green. 1. The color is red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're still holding on. Let it go. I don't want you to think. Let it go. When are you ever gonna let it go? Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let it go. Let it break. 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 Break it. Go to laughter. Go to the color yellow. Open your arms. Stay there. Don't think. Don't think. Find a way to hug her on my count. 1, 2, 3. Freeze. Go to 7. Stay there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay there. Keep in it. Find a way to go and hug Brandon. I'm not going to give you any numbers. I'm not going to give you anything. Follow your instincts, Miss B. Follow your instincts, Kishana. Follow your instincts, Kishana. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Follow your instincts, Jonathan. You've been thinking about it the whole time. Don't think. You're still thinking, Jonathan. Go somewhere, Jonathan. Stephen, stay right by the phone. Stephen, by the phone, please. There's a phone on your right-hand side. Pick up that phone, Stephen. You just got a call, Stephen. It's not a good call. Find a way to hang the phone up. Your color is red. And you're moving on my count. You should be at the stool where Jonathan is at by the time I get to 10. Find a way to hang the phone up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to the phone, Stephen. You were supposed to be at Jonathan by the number 10. Back to the phone. You didn't get a good call, man. Pick up the phone. Hang the phone up. Pick up the phone. Hang the phone up. Pick up the phone. Hang the phone up. Pick up the phone. Drop the phone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Freeze. Go to the phone, Todd. Everybody's going to the phone. We're going to go quick. Hopefully we didn't break the phone. Actually, Todd, walk in from the door. You were late. You know the phone is ringing. You were coming from somewhere. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You were sweeping. The phone rang. You just got the best news of your life. You hang up the phone. You walk into the living room. And you see the worst news of your life. One, two, three. Kim Laya, you were sweeping. The phone rang. You're in Great Britain, so you're picking up some British. You have a quick conversation. Stay there. You look into the kitchen. All your family members have been murdered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stay there. Issa, you were sweeping. You were having a great conversation with Archie. Archie's over there. You're having a great conversation. Archie, find a way to go see your woman of your dreams while she's sweeping your floor. You're laughing, having a good time. You both look into the kitchen. You find your 2 kids. One is 5, one is 7. You look through the window in the kitchen. They're drowning in the pool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Freeze. Mr. Gregory, you're at the phone. Miss B, you just came through the door. You were on the other end of the phone. You just told Mr. Gregory that, yes, I'll marry you. He doesn't know you're there. Find your way into the kitchen. You were going to have a surprise. All your guests, they were all just murdered. Your emotion is yellow. It's laughter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You actually guys that did it. 6, 7. Follow your instincts, Miss B. Dance around the dead party. Sorrel, you're at the phone. Oh no, you just hurt your foot. Don't run too fast. You just got the best news of your life. You hang up the phone. You look to the kitchen. You're so happy. Stay there. You look into the kitchen. The man that you love has just committed suicide. No emotion yet. Find a way to get to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Freeze. You're at the phone. Gotta go quick. Let's go. We're at the phone. Don't want any words. You just got the best news of your life. One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. You hang up the phone. You look into the kitchen. Everybody on the floor is now celebrating. They're laughing. Everyone's laughing on the floor. You got to still go into the party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're enraged. Freeze. Jeremy, Tova. What's your name, sis? Amani, beautiful name. You guys are all at the phone. Amani, you're sweeping. You're not even going to the phone call. You know why? Because you don't like those two. You're just sweeping. Another day at work. Tova and Jeremy, you just had the best news ever. I don't want you guys to act. I just want you to receive the news. You hang up the phone. You're getting ready to join the party. Slow. Real slow. Amani turns around. You look into the kitchen. No, not Amani. They look into the kitchen, I'm sorry. You see nothing but blood in the kitchen. You look at Amani. And she's laughing. Amani, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She did it. Freeze, Amani. Keshana, take that broom. Take it quickly. You're sweeping. You're kind of irate. You're kind of sweeping really weird. Amani just came in with Tova and Jeremy. They just came in from the party. They're not moving. They're still right there. You're just sweeping. They look into the kitchen. 3. I want you to find your way to them over there. After you're done with the circle, have your fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop. Find a way to crawl over to them, laughing hysterically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, freeze. Omani, where are you? You at a place. It's all over your face. Denisha, you just came through the door. You're observing the whole room. You don't know these people. Some are alive. Some are still breathing, barely breathing. It's barely breathing. You were hurt. You're cut. Freeze. You see your daughter to your right. No, you don't hug her yet because she's laughing at you. Freeze. Find a way to walk through the mess and leave. You go to the door. Solon, find a way to grab that leg before she leaves. But you don't have enough strength. Freeze. Freeze. Your line at the door, as you walk to her, here, is I'm sorry about all of it. It should only be one line. When you get to her, that is your line. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it ain't there yet. Do you see the mess? Feel it. You see what you've done. Why did you do it? From that place, lock eyes with her. 1, slow. 2, 3, 4, 5,
sorry about all of it.
Turn to them. You're pissed, but I don't want you to move. I want you to find a sound. Freeze. Brandon, you're skipping all around the party. You find your way over there. You slow it down. As a director, find a way to say, wow, great job, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. The whole room needs to feel that because everybody was a part of the show.
Wow. Great job, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow.
Find your space. Stay in it. Okay. Let me use you, Issa, for a second. There's someone online. It's your camera. It's in your face. We're going to go through a range of emotion. We're going to start off with laughter at a 5. We're going to go to blue at a 7. And then we're going to go to purple at a 9. You pick the color you want to start with. Begin. Switch. Switch. Oh, flirt with that camera. Find your sexuality here. It's kind of psychotic a little bit. Switch. Flirt with that camera a little bit. too much. Get a little closer. A little closer. Right there. Your line is fuck you. Find a way to slowly back up. You're laughing and you're yelling at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're at a 9. Start again. Come on. You're at a 9. I need you laughing and angry at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want a word. Start again. I want you to use your sound. You're laughing and you're angry at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're still thinking about it. Let's do it again. Again. Let's take 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Find sadness in there. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Freeze. Miss B, go somewhere. From right there. Go somewhere. Real quick. We're running out of time. You're freezing. You're on here. Oh, he's on her. Flirt with the camera. Stay there. Just your eyes. But he left you. And he's not coming back. Say goodbye without saying goodbye, but I want all your emotion. I want you yellow, I want you red, and I want you blue. And I want you at a 7. No, I want you at a 5. Find the perfect time to walk away. The camera sees everything. Find the perfect time to walk away. Y'all give it up for our guest, Mr. Charles Murray. You guys can find your space in here. Right in here, somewhere. Because Mr. Murray is going to be here. Come up. Find your space. Find your space.
Oh, you get to sit back there?
Not really. I kind of joined the floor too, but since you here, that get my little bathroom break.
I'm just saying. You really like, you know what I'm saying? So tell me, how are you today?
Oh, man, I'm fantastic. This is
Great. Okay. I just want to know, how are you, sir?
I'm well. Yeah.
Stand up for a second. Try that again.
I'm well. I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored.
There you go. All right. One of them. Give me a hug. What's your name?
Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
Nice to meet you.
Charles. All right. How are you? How good does one have to be? That's my question, right? It's like when people started talking about, it used to be like you would give 100%, and then suddenly somebody started talking about, I'm giving 1,000, and I was like, 100's good. You really don't have to say you're gonna get to 1,000 because I don't believe you will. So when people ask me how I'm doing, I'll go, I'm good, and they go, that's it? You held your ground, and I appreciate it. They go, I go, what you want me to be? You want me to be jumping off a wall and saying that it's the greatest day ever? It's not. I don't know when that day is. Cool. Where did he go? Oh, he went that way. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to keep it right here so it doesn't make. You just set me up. A little bit higher. You'll never find. You want my hand higher. Got you. Thank you. You just set me up in front of all these people, and it's recorded. Thank you very much.
So
what we doing?
You're probably wondering what you're doing.
Yes.
I don't give the guests any really instructions. Everyone's here to hear your wisdom, hear your experience, hear your story,
Right.
However you want to flow.
Well, that's usually conversational.
Uh-huh.
I don't consider myself, someone who will sit down and start proclaiming shit. Because I don't think my shit's that important.
That's why I invited you.
So, oh my God, there's nobody in this room who knows that movie. You know it? Thank God. Good Lord, I felt old. It's Steve Martin's first movie, The Jerk. And the first line in the movie is, I was born a poor black child. I don't know. Ask me something. Shit, I don't. Take the mic from him. See how hard this is?
What does it mean
Uh-oh.
to
That's. I'll tell you what it means to make it in Hollywood. This will be a good one. What it means is that, oh, y'all ain't gonna like this answer right away. What it means is that your ego has driven you to a place which you think is your idea. You think that it's your destiny or your dream, but your ego has driven you to a place that you have sacrificed as much as you could to get to a place only to realize that there's another place to go to. So when you say you make it in Hollywood, I would say define to me someone who has made it, and I'll show you someone who's made it more than them. Right? So let's say black folks. Let's say Will Smith. Will Smith has made it. But has he made it to the degree that Tom Hanks has? He's high caliber? So define high caliber. Okay, so see, that's what I mean about making it. Because if you say blockbustery is made it,
Not really. Well,
Tom Cruise's kids don't speak to him.
yeah, there you go. Personally is not professionally.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
So when people try to put a tight definition on something, I try to look at it as holistically as possible. Yeah. You know, I have a really good relationship with my kids, my adults, I call them. I don't make as much money as most writer, producer, directors, but I also don't have their stress. So in my estimation, I've made it to a place where I'm comfortable with being me versus people that I know who make way more than me, and every time I talk to them, they're complaining about somebody, something. So again, that's why I immediately go to ego, right? Because once your ego feels satiated because you've said, this is my destination, and I've made it to the point that I understand, the universe will tell you you're just getting started, right? So when you say that person's made it, do you think Will Smith felt made and high caliber when Jada took him to the red table? Do you think Will made it when he was the first person to win a Grammy, but rappers really try to say that he ain't a rapper? You know what I'm saying? And I think he's a wonderfully talented individual. But I also think that a lot of people did do what I did, you know, read People magazine, see somebody on the cover of Variety or Deadline, hear how much money they are making, see how good their life is, and then go, well, how does that look up against mine? That means that person has made it. Which means, in turn, I'm going to spend years, if not decades, ignoring what's good about my life as it is to match that person. And then when I match that person, I'm going to look up and go, oh shit, there are people who are doing much better than him. and I got to start this shit over again. Or as Denzel said one time, any script that I get has gone to 7 other people before it comes to me. So in that estimation, if you say, Denzel Washington, have you made it? The first question he's going to give you back is, define that. So I say to all of you, when someone asks you that question, or they say, do you feel like you're successful? The second you minimize it down to what you're doing, you are dismissing your life. Somebody give me another question. Sure. Hello. Wait for the mic, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever you do, do not hold the bottom part of this dude. Where'd he go? There he is. He's going to come get you. I just want to warn you right now.
My name's Angela, and my question is, not close enough. What did you want to bring to Sons of Anarchy?
What did
you want to bring to Sons of Anarchy?
What did I want to bring to Sons of Anarchy?
Or like, what did you want to, like, was there something that you were like, there's an end goal, that there's something that you want to impart?
I don't think in those terms. There hasn't been one thing that I've created or been a part of where I've wanted to put my stamp on it, because I don't know what my stamp is, you know? So there are a lot of people, this is outside of that, but it'll come back to that. And Will can attest to this. I think we've had conversations about this. But I tell people all the time, there's Charles Murray I know, and then there's the Charles Murray that people think they know. And that ain't the same person most of the time. And the Charles Murray I know is literally emboldened by the journey and whatever I get to experience along the way. And I knew what I wanted from Sons of Anarchy, and that was a job. Especially when that last check came in 6 months prior, and it was around Christmas time, you know what I mean? But I don't know the box that I'm in. And what I mean by that creatively is, I figure if I say I'm trying to bring X to this, then I'm saying that might be all that is me. And I don't think that I know all that is me. And you know, one of the funny things about my career is the very thing that reps told me would be my downfall is now the first thing that people give me props for. And you know, agents usually tell you, agents, managers, whatever, they usually tell you to find a lane. You know, if you're a writer, if you're writing horror, you know, like stick to horror, because then when you get successful, you'll be able to go off and do all of the other stuff. And I always thought that was bullshit. Because if I write 7 horror movies and 4 of them get made, and then I suddenly go, I'm doing a musical, the next thing you know, I'm going to be fighting with people who are going to say, what makes him think he can do a musical? You know what I mean? And a lot of people who are in our business are inclined to listen to people when they say, why do you think you can do this? They think they have to come up with an answer other than I just wanted to do it. So I call myself a rerun baby because when I was growing up, I used to watch a bunch of syndicated TV, which is, you know, like the UHF channels. Y'all don't know nothing about that, I don't think. Somebody might know about a UHF channel. Somebody help me out. Thank you. Praise be. All is good in the UHF world. But you know, like I would go from watching the Beverly Hillbillies to the Lone Ranger to Magilla Gorilla, thank you, to Batman, to the Green Hornet, to Dynasty, to, you know, Love Boat, right? And it would all be one day. So in my mind, as a creative, I was like, oh, I want to do all of that. You know, I want to write a comedy, I want to write a musical, I want to write a drama, I want to write a gangster movie, I want to write, you know what I'm saying? From Benny Hill to James Cagney to Humphrey Bogart to boom, 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 boom. So when I got into the business at 35, I want to say that's when I sold my first script. They were like, what do you want to do next? And I was like, I don't know. I got an idea. Well, what's the idea? And it was totally opposite of what I had just spec'd. And they were like, you got to choose a lane, dude. And I was like, why? Because I've grown up watching thousands of people play in different lanes. Not knowingly playing in different lanes, but because I was getting it through reruns, I thought everybody was doing everything, right? And so I made a short that was black and white, set in the 40s, gangster noir, called Rain, and the script that I was going out with was the script that eventually became my first film, which was about domestic abuse. And they were like, that doesn't line up. And I was like, yes, it does, because it's me. You know, so if there's anything, to answer your question, that I think I bring to everything that I've done, it's just me. And I don't box it in such a way that I feel like I would feel limited.
So my part two to that thing in the idea of you, the part two is, since you're saying you just bring yourself, through that whole journey, is that why you referred to fear as a child, because you had to place it, but you...
Oh, you watch Pete Chapman. Look at you.
Gotta be prepared.
And I think that's the only place I've said it. Yeah. No, the whole fear thing came about. Being a parent can teach you so much about being in this business. And being a person who was out in the world for 15 of my formative years before I got into the business, working at 7-Eleven, pulling taxes for the government, cleaning out burnt out houses. And then, you know, I walked into the business and everybody who was getting in around the time that I was getting in was like in their mid-20s. And the people who had been in the business since their mid-20s were like living in a bubble. And so real life just kind of like made the business seem a bit undernourished in terms of how people were acting with each other, interacting with each other. And I kind of, from jump, was like, oh, you know, there's something going on here, because all of these people are ruled by fear, right? And I know that I deal with it, and I don't have any problems dealing with it. I'm ruled by fear and insecurity and you know, lack of completion on certain things. But then I kind of just got to a point, once I started raising my kids, I had to be the ones to tell them, hey, you know what? You can go from here to here. You don't have to go from here to here. Take those first couple of steps, fall, because what you need to do is build up your strength. What you need to do is be okay with being afraid, because what's on the other side of being afraid is knowledge. You know, and so in dealing with my kids, I also realized that I was dealing with me because of my fear of what kind of parent I was going to be. And at a certain point, I always go back to the person who got me in all this goddamn trouble in the first place. And that was 9-year-old me, who, because I was a latchkey kid watching TV all the time and watching movies all the time, turned to my parents and said, oh, you know what, I'm gonna make movies when I grow up. And my mama was like, good luck. Because we work in a steel mill. You know? And so when I connect to that kid, I think about the fact that the 9-year-old became the 12-year-old whose father died. The 12-year-old went from being a left-brained kid to a right-brained kid because suddenly I had to find a way to express myself. The 12-year-old started writing. The 13-year-old, the 14-year-old kept writing, and suddenly he was writing plays that were getting produced in high school. The 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old was in love with the library, telling people, I have no idea how I'm going to get to where I think I'm going to go. The 20-year-old completely bottomed out and went, this ain't going to happen. And after that, it became, you know, called a recession, but it was an actual depression. Half a semester of college, because the other half I spent at the movie theater. 7-Eleven for 3 years in a racist ass Texas town. And so it was constantly me going, yeah, I gotta get past my fear, but I couldn't put a name to it, I couldn't put a design to it until I started raising my kids. And I saw that I had been doing that to myself. I had to go back and talk to the me that had not had the experience to say, come on. We're gonna take a small step forward. We're gonna fall on our faces. And then we're gonna get up. So by the time it was actually, before my kids, it was actually my ex-wife. We were at an event. She introduced me as a writer. I was nowhere near in the game. And her friends looked at me and they said, would we know anything that you've written? And my insides spun. And I was like, yeah, no. And in my mind, she was on this side. I was like, man, when we get back to the car, I'm giving you the business. And we got back to the car, and I said, don't do that. Don't do that where you're putting me on the spot in front of people because you know they're gonna ask and if you sold anything and all that other kind of shit, and I just don't want to deal with that. And my ex-wife, I have said publicly, might be the smartest human being I've ever met. And she looked at me and she said, I got one question for you. And I knew I was like, God damn it, here it comes. And she said, does selling something make you a writer, or does writing something make you a writer? And you know, I got my shoulder back up. I looked off, saw the stoplight turn to green. When I don't want to be with this woman anymore. She's going to ask me questions like this. And I went, nah, you right. And she said, then stop. Stop leaning into how other people perceive you. Get past your fear. But again, because we've all had many, many conversations about fear, but we don't know how to describe it. And like I said, when I got with my kids, and I think my kids are two of the most amazing human beings on the planet. And yes, I will take credit for about a third of it. My 20-year-old literally just directed her first short. The 22-year-old was the costume designer. And this is how they became the costume designer. I'm gonna do the costumes. I was like, word? Yeah, me and Alon talked about it. It's gonna be okay. And I was like, God damn, I hope they've been paying attention to all of the sets that we've been on and did a phenomenal job. But it's because I started saying to them what I eventually started saying to myself, which was, it's okay to be afraid, but don't stay there too long. And that's how that narrative got to be. And now it's so crazy that the conversations that I have with the 9-year-old now have nothing to do with fear. It's like, you got me into this shit again. I really don't want to take this job. And he'll go, don't take it then. and then I'll turn it down, and then Will will call me and go, what you doing? I'll be like, I'm at home. Happily though, right? But I think that, again, because of that success thing, laser-like focus on something that is yet to come sometimes mean you forget everything you are and were. And that is your rock that you stand on. And that's what you have to protect from people. Because all of these, the greatest thing about crabs in a barrel. You ready for this? So simple. You're gonna go, God damn it. Does a crab know it's in a barrel? It's going off instinct. And it's trying to get out. And it's trying to get to the top. Because its little eyeball sees a whole bunch of other crabs, and we're all supposed to be moving in the same direction, right? So the laser focus is trying to get out of that barrel. Because you're not gonna act the same way when you're out of the barrel. So when you have your laser focus telling you to focus on your career and ignore your fears and ignore your insecurities and ignore your foibles, guess what's gonna be waiting for you when you make it to success? Hey, brother, we've been waiting on you. And you see all of these people who make a lot of money, who have a lot of quote unquote success, being very vindictive, being very petty, being very afraid, because they literally told younger them, I'll see you when I get there. You got to take it with you, you know. So I'm cool with it, and I always equate it to the person who got me in this trouble in the first place. I would have been a crooner with one light. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Charles Murray. That's what I wanted to do. And then all of a sudden, my brain went, oh, I want to do this. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm following you. And I still talk to that dude. Like I'm talking to you right now. I still talk to that dude. Tell me again why this made sense to you. Well, didn't have a bunch of friends. We used to come home, watch the movies. We used to come home, watch TV. We used to hang out, chill. Used to start writing stuff. And the reason that I started writing was to answer questions that I couldn't get the adults to answer for me. And that's kind of still the reason that I write now. The second I go fade in, I want to know the answer to a question that this story is kind of hiding. And then I try to find the answer. Wait for the mic.
So I'm just assuming you have a lot of creative ideas that are just there. And my question.
Okay, we'll go with that. Again, that's the Charles Murray. I don't know.
Yeah. My question is, how do you negotiate, or what's your rhythm around, let's say, writing one project and then trying to bring another, getting it financed? Like the rhythm between, do I just see one thing all the way through? Am I juggling things? Because I'm sure you have a ton of stuff in the tank. And then lastly, what's the most efficient way to get the money?
The most efficient way to get the money? I'll tell you what my mother told me when I tried to get her to mortgage the house. Because Spike Lee's grandmother had financed his student short that went on to win the Student Academy Award. And I tore ass up to my mother's bedroom. And I said, listen. And she had just come home from work. She was working in the steel mill. She had worked in the steel mill for about 13 years at that time. And I said, I need money to make a movie. I need money for equipment. And here's what I think you should do. I said, Spike Lee's grandmother just financed his short. And I think you should finance my first short. And I think you should mortgage the house. And she went, what? And I said, yeah, I said, I'm gonna get you your money back, I promise you. I'm gonna be good at what I do. But this is how you become a part of the narrative, right? And then one night I'm on Entertainment Tonight and they go, how'd you make your first short? And I go. And she said, you better take your ass to McDonald's. Get a job, save up your money, and make a short that way. And I went, you are an enemy of the people. I didn't say that in front of her. She just smacked me out. Cut to, I get my first TV job, Third Watch. Fox had a department called Search Lab, where they found filmmakers and they said, hey, we will give you 20 grand to make a short. And somehow this short I had written had gotten on her radar, this woman's radar. And I said, okay, 20 grand, that's a lot. I'm gonna shoot it in 35 millimeter. Warner Brothers is gonna give me their back lot to shoot on. It's set in the 40s, so I need about 5 or 6 vintage cars. Gotta pay my actors, gotta pay my crew. The budget turned out to be 75. So I went back to Search Lab and I said, hey, you a part of Fox, y'all got that, 20,000, that's it. So I went to the smartest woman I know, and I said, yo, the vision I have for this is 55 more than what they're offering. And we're gonna have to make up the difference. And she said, if that's what you need, that's what we're gonna do. So my mama was prophetic, it just wasn't McDonald's. It was Third Watch. And I say to this day, the first movie I made cost $300,000. It was me and a high school buddy of mine who financed it. My next movie cost $280,000. It was all me. The last movie I did with Will cost 2.2. That was Lionsgate. But it was because the movie that I sold to them that I had made for $300,000 was in profit. So I was a filmmaker that they could bank on, right? So I have a question for everybody in this audience. There's an old adage Y'all gonna know it as soon as I say it. Don't spend your money. Get them to spend their money. Now, before you come to this brainy conclusion, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to use these two fellas. So this is your money. This is their money. Correct? Y'all got that? Okay, so don't spend your money, spend their money. I got one question for you. What is their money to this person? That's your money to him, right? So it's kind of tricky what they're telling you, because the people who are telling you not to spend your money are going to profit and have control when it becomes their money. And a lot of people don't take that into consideration, right? So when it came time to make things, and I had written the script in 2003, and I was 2011, I was 42 years old. I'm sitting in the kitchen, kids were running around, my wife was doing something, and I said, you know, I kind of am starting to understand what this business is. This business is very much, what's that Sam and Dave song? Hold on, I'm coming. And then they just never come because they find somebody more interesting, right? And you go, wait, I'm interesting too. Okay, bye. So I said, I don't think, because the other adage within the business was, or is, well, you know, you can write your way into directing. And I was writing my ass off. And nobody was saying, say, brother, come on over here and direct. And I understood why they weren't saying it to me, because I am a child of Alan Pakula, who made All the President's Men and the original Presumed Innocent. I'm the child of Sidney Lumet, who made 12 Angry Men and The Verdict and a couple other really great Serpico dramas. I'm the child of drama, and the business was demanding people like me to be the child of comedy, or to be the child of hood movies. And so I, in one of the many conversations with myself, I was like, you know you walking a hard road, brother, because the movies you want to make, they ain't ascribing to folks like us as the makers of these films. Even though you had Charles Burnett, who did To Sleep with Anger. You had, you know, Julie Dash doing her movie. Smatterings of people. But if you wanted to make coin, well, we know you funny, man. Every time we sit down and talk to you, you know you cracking a joke. You don't want to write nothing? No. Don't want nothing to do with it. So they would be like, all right. And that was why I got into TV, because TV was more open to someone like me writing drama. But I knew if I wanted to have a feature career, I had to make some decisions. And I had to be responsible for my decisions. That's another thing about being afraid. There's a lot of people want to make decisions, and then they want to blame it on the masses as the reason that they made the decision, and they don't want to be responsible for their own decisions. And so the decision I made was, whether it cost $100,000 or $500,000, the only way this movie's getting made is if I take every dime. So I pulled from the 401k, I pulled from the insurance, I robbed a couple of people. No, just stick them up. I'm trying to make a movie. And here's the crazy thing. I hadn't talked to my high school friend in over a decade. And somehow he ended up at some convention in LA a year and a half prior. And he had just come up on a big lump sum of money and was investing in hotels and stuff like that. And we had coffee one day, and he goes, "You remember you used to sit in the back of the class and not do your classwork because you were writing scripts?" And I was like, I think I do remember that because it was me. And he goes, "When I think of all of the folks we went to school with, and I think about you and the fact that you stuck it out and got to where you are," he goes, "anything you ever need, hit me." And on the second day of shooting, I sent him, no, third day, I sent him dailies, I sent him the script, and I called him and I said, "I need $100,000. And he goes, "All right, let me read the script." And he hit me back like 3 days later and he said, "Send me the money, send me your account number so I can wire it." Right? Now here's the thing. Here's the tricky part. There's a sense of accomplishment doing something yourself. But there's also a sense of disillusionment because you had to do it yourself. Because part of this thing that your ego is telling you to do is literally hoping to get picked. Right? You're the dude or woman that's on this at the court on Saturday going, "Yo, y'all need 10, you got 9. And nobody wants to pick you because you really can't play, right? And then somebody goes, "All right, fuck it, come on." And you're so happy you throw the ball away and they go, "Who picked this?" But you got picked, right? Because what we do in this is we kind of give way too much power to people. And what's odd about it is that on the yellow brick road, you will see many, many moments of people taking their power. And you'll literally go, "Yeah, that was them," and keep it moving because you are so wanting to be picked. And so in that moment, I was like, well, ain't nobody gonna pick me. So here we go, right? Got the movie going, got the money from my friend, finished it. Like literally in that 300 grand, we shot here, we shot in New York. I got to shoot at the New Yorican, which is like this famed poetry place in New York. I didn't even think we were gonna, I thought I was gonna have to fake a New Yorican. I thought I was gonna have to rent a space like this and go, "That's the New Yorican." But without a Y, you know? And when we were done, my friend edited the movie. He made it, he brought a lot of the beauty out of what we shot. This PA that I knew, it turned out he was a musician. He scored the movie. My DP had to, my first DP, maybe about 7 days in, I had to tell him it was time to go home. Not that nice. And the guy who was shooting B camera had never shot a feature before. And I said, "It's your turn. Let's go." And we made that movie. And when it was edited and we submitted it to festivals, could not get into one. And I was like, oh, we might be in trouble. But then I thought about it and I was like, I can't get myself in trouble. I made this money before, I'll make it again. And it's my money, so I get to look at it how I choose to look at it. And I was sitting talking to my wife, and we were waiting, the Sundance deadline was coming. And she said, you ain't said nothing about Sundance. And I went, yeah, no, I don't want to talk about Sundance. And she goes, would you like for your film to get in? Oh, just answer that question. I said, yeah, that'd be cool. And an hour later, the rejection email popped up. And I went, oh, damn, somebody playing with me. And then a couple of days later, this woman from Sundance sent me an email telling me how much she loved the film and how she wanted to help me get it in the LA Film Festival. And I was like, okay, that's cool, you know. Because I was in the great thing was I was in a place where that film wasn't gonna make me or break me because I still had my TV money, still writing, right? And at the time, the Black Film Festival here, Pan-African, accepted the film. And I said, okay, Pan-African's in January, you guys are in March, April. Is it cool if it plays at the Pan-African? And they were like, no, you could only play in LA through one festival or another, and we are the LA Film Festival. And then I had to have another conversation with myself. I was like, who did I make this movie for? Because I'm giving it to, I would give it to LA hoping that someone would suddenly go, okay, all of that stuff we said about, 6'4" black men not directing dramas, we remove that curse from you. And you are now welcome into the fray. You know what I mean? I said, but everybody who goes to the Pan-African lives in my city, in my neighborhood, on my block, from where I grew up in Gary. And this movie is about my mother and my father. And I want these people to see this movie, no matter what. So I chose Pan-African. And I think I can say with certainty, I'm not an ego-driven guy in terms of where my career lands and what happens for me in this business. From your perspective, would you say? And so they called me and they said, hey, screening sold out. And I was like, oh, bad. Everybody called their friends, right? I'm thinking it's gonna be everybody's friends, but there were so many people that had nothing to do with me or the actors, I think it was 280-seat theater, right? People were mad they were getting turned away. I was like, this is funny, right? And we screened the movie, Q&A time, standing up there with the actors. This woman goes, I got a question. I said, bet. Yes? And she goes, you wrote this movie? Female lead. I said, yep. You wrote this movie? I said, yeah, I did. Okay. You wrote a hell of a movie. How you get that woman's voice? And I said, because I like women and I hang out with women a lot and I talk to them and it's about my mother and blah, 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 and all this other kind of stuff. Next woman stood up, pointed at her mother and said, the whole time my mother was talking to me while she was watching this movie saying, this is what I went through. And had I had a movie like this, I would have understood how to get out of my relationship. Right? Now, We'll go all the way back to when I was 24. My mother was lying in bed. We were having a long conversation about many things, and I said, I'm gonna make a movie about you one day. And she goes, who the hell wanna see a movie about me? And I said, somebody, shit. How about me? I said, but I think what's happened in your life can inform people. I think what you and Daddy went through and took each other through can inform people. At the end, will stay with me forever. I'm done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. And then the next one sold out. And then they added one and it was sold out. And then I sold it to Lionsgate. And I went on a 9-city film festival tour, and over and over and over, it was the same thing. My mother and my father were speaking to people through me, right? Because I'm not limiting myself in saying, well, I don't know if I can write a woman. I don't know if I can write white characters. I don't know if I can write aliens. That's what one of my first arguments with an agent, he was like, how do you think you can write white people? And I said, I want to know how Steven Spielberg thought he could write an alien. But the reason I got to make that movie was because it was my money. Not their money, my money, right? So it sold to Lionsgate in 2013. What are we in now, 2024? I picked up a check 3 months ago in my mailbox. Now here's the thing. Everybody that was around me on the TV sets, other writers, other filmmakers, they were going, how you gonna make a movie for $300,000? I said, y'all crazy? Look down this road and see Spike Lee making this movie for 175 grand. See Robert Townsend making his for 300. See Robert Rodriguez making his for 7. Stop playing and waiting on these people to pick you. Pick yourself. Get past the fear, or walk it to a place where you can show it that it can be safe. Because here we are, so I'm gonna take you, cinema is 130 years old at this point. You needed a camera then, you need a camera now. But that camera then had maybe 68 pieces. Hold that up. I know a man who made a movie that went to South by Southwest that shot it on his iPhone. Sean Baker, who has this movie Honora that's out right now, which I think is 2 hours and 40 goddamn minutes, made a movie on Santa Monica Boulevard called Tangerine on an iPhone. What are we doing? There's a movie that just came out early this year called Skinamarink. Guy made it for 15 grand. It made $2.5 million. The first Terrifier cost 25. The days when I first came into this business and wanted to make movies, we were still shooting in 35. We were still editing on Abbott's, on old school cutting machines, not Abbott's, Kim's, that's what they used to call them. Anybody got a laptop? Hold up your hand if you got a laptop. Y'all know how much Final Cut Pro costs? Bingo. DaVinci Resolve. You can download it for free, and you can color your damn movie after you get done editing it. You can shoot on your iPhone. You can shoot on a Canon. What is that? Is that a Black Magic? How much do Black Magics cost nowadays?
Oh, Brandon knows.
Boom. You got a story that you really, truly. See, here's the thing, and I say this all the time. There's a lot of people who play at being filmmakers because they want the accolades and they want people to come and rub their shoulder, tell them how great you did. There's dudes. Tubi is built off of a bunch of dudes in Detroit making lower budgeted Tyler Perry type movies. And I don't mean that in a bad sense. But they're making those movies for $40,000, $30,000. So when I see cats running from their jobs in the industry to go home and slosh it up and go get a $100,000 car or go get that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go buy a light. So where do you get the money from? Where did Robert Townsend get the money from? Say it again. Spike's first movie cost $175,000. You can never take that away. And he owns it. Even better than blowing your money to make it is the fact that you own it. And that's why a check is in my mailbox. That's why those two movies and other ones will end up being in my trust for my kids. Right? Because when my kids were 14 and 12, could nobody stop me from giving them EP credit? Because we were the studio. So I'll ask your question back to you. Where do you get the money? Who got next?
Yes, so as a director, how do you approach helping actors on set work through blocks that they may be experiencing when you're like working on time and money and things like that?
Wait, what was the last part about time?
When you're working against time and making sure you want to get the shot, making sure the producer's not coming over and tapping you on the shoulder.
I'm the producer.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'll answer that question. When we were shooting Devil, we were running behind, and I needed to get this scene. And the line producer came up to me and said, "Hey, we're about to go into overtime." And I said, "Why do you think I didn't take my director's check?" So you got the money. Now leave me alone. Right? Because again, people play. I'm a savage. This is me protecting 9-year-old dude. Because he wasn't thinking about budgets and all that other kind of stuff. He was like, I just want to make movies. So if I'm holding true to what he said forward, I got to do that. Now, when you say, how are you working when you're up against time? You're up against time from the moment they green light. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you understand that you're up against time. And then you ain't doing this. Yeah, man, Charles, we gotta shoot. All right, so I'm thinking about going to the club and that, you know what I'm saying? No, you walk onto the set as a professional and you don't think, oh, well, so-and-so got to get away with asking for extra days. That ain't you. You got people to command. And you have to think like that when you step out of your car, right? So the way I work with actors, Hitchcock said, one of the smartest things I think that directors can hear is that you are your first audience, right? So I want to see the performances before anybody else get to them. So I'm not gonna play director. Okay, well, I need you to grab this cup, you know what I'm saying? Walk over to her and then grab her water bottle. Don't grab it high, grab it low. And then we're gonna put the camera right here. And then when you walk off, make sure you walk this way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do I need you if I'm ragdolling you? I wanna see what you're gonna do. And then we're gonna refine it because your blade is gonna sharpen the other actor's blade. And all I wanna do is make sure that you have the space to feel comfortable enough to find it. Then we'll adjust, right? Because we're trying to be true to the story. That's the only thing I will tune people about. The story's over here and you way over here trying to like win this one scene, but you've jumped emotionally too far into the story right now. I need you to come back. That's how I work with actors. But I also know, because I'm about my business, that I need to keep everybody moving. You know, I don't have the ability to sit around and go, I'm not sure about what this next shot's gonna be. You know, let me see if I can, well, you know, you didn't make your days, that comes back on you. You know, that's when you know you have, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, that's when you know you got an artist in the room. I mean, Shazam, do something. Because you have to be creative and you also have to lead. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Oh, wait, ooh.
So there's two things. Is there a genre that you have not done that you want to do? And then is there a script or an idea you've had that you've been sitting on because it's just never been the right time to do it?
No, I'm lazy as hell. And I'm gonna go back to you. You said, I know you got like 1,000, you got all them ideas. Hell no. Is there a genre that I haven't done? Yes, musicals. I want to make a musical. Cause that's what I grew, like, man, I used to get, when it was Elvis week on ABC or the 3:30 movie, my mother was like, how you get sick all of a sudden? I'm like, let me go in here and heat this thermometer real quick. Cause it was gonna be Blue Hawaii, Love Me Tender, Kissing Cousins, Viva Las Vegas, and Some Kind of Habit. That was, I think Mary Tyler Moore, played a nun. And then there was the Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers movies, right? So I'm like, I want to do that. Which it's funny because it feels like that's the one thing that's, I guess, kind of fallen out of flavor in this period of time, which is odd because when you go back and you look at the cycle of movies like that usually pop up in trying times historically. You know, you can always equate it to what was going on in America because nobody wanted to go see some downer movie when you're in the middle of a depression, you know, or when you're in the middle of a war. That's why, you turn on the TV and you run into like 7,000 war movies because they needed to make their countries understand that we are going to win, so that there wasn't a nationwide depression. So when you watch movies, you can literally see how America is moving and how the world is moving, you know. But like, yeah, but I don't have maybe I do. Oh, I do. I have this one script called Burgundy Corona that I wrote on the humbug. I got fired from a job, and I sat at home and wrote a comedy about me getting fired. Basically, to send to two of my dearest friends. Like, so every couple of days I would send them 10 pages. And then I looked up and I had a script. And then somebody sent it to Disney to get it read. And they were like, oh, this is a really good script, da, 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 da. If he did this, 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 and this. And I was like, yeah, I ain't doing all of that. Because y'all are trying to make it to a studio movie. I think I'm an indie filmmaker at heart, you know, and I think that TV has enough guardrails to keep me from being super indie. But if given, there's this dude, his name is Peter, I think his last name is O-H. And he made his first movie the normal way. And he said he was super bummed out by it. It turned out well, but he was super bummed out about it. And he said he had a long conversation with himself about why he started making movies in the first place. And he said, you know, it was just like me and my friends and a video camera, and I kind of want to get back to that. And I think he's made his last 3 or 4 movies with no more, the crew was no bigger than 3 people, right? To take it a step further, he comes up with an idea, he sits with the actors, they talk about it, and then every morning they write the script for the day, right? And I've been going back and forth in my head about what I want to do as an independent filmmaker next. And I don't even know how I found this cat. You know, sometimes I feel like things are just kind of like lined up and you just bump around until you go, oh, here it is, right? And I'm telling you, when I read the article, it was in New York Times. It popped up on my New York Times app. I called a friend of mine and I said, yo, you do sound, I got cameras, we making a movie. And he was like, bet. And I was like, damn, I didn't think he was gonna say bet that quick. Because then the next thing I gotta do is I gotta call some actors and I gotta go, hey, we're gonna be doing this in a completely different way than what we would normally do it, right? And like, unfortunately, I have a lot of actor friends, so if some of them get left out, there's hell. Like, oh, you didn't think you could call me? Nope. But I think the next thing I do is going to be in that vein, because I've been. Robert Rodriguez, I'm gonna go back to Robert Rodriguez. El Mariachi, 7 grand, started his career. His last big movie, Alita, Battle Angel. James Cameron producing it, made it for, I think, 130 mil. Did you watch what I'm about to talk about? Because on his channel, he said, I'm going to return to my roots, but I'm going to benefit other writer-directors. So he started this show called Rebels Without a Crew. Picked 5 filmmakers, brought them down to Austin, and I keep telling people this all the time, right? And this is one of the reasons that I move the way I move is because it's only by your actions are you truly known. Because people can talk all day, right? So when somebody would say, I'm thinking about making a movie, da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And I go, all right, get you 10 grand, make a movie. You can't make a movie for 10 grand. Yes, you can. Here we go again, blah, 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 da, 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 da. There was this dude named Gary Winnick who started this company called Independent Digital Entertainment in the early thousands. And the movies, the 10 movies he made, they cost $200,000 each. And the post cost $100,000. And there's a movie called Pieces of April. And you know, when they used to send scripts out as books when it was Academy season, the Pieces of April forward is by the filmmaker. And he said, I wrote this script, everybody told me how much they loved it. I set it up with a film company. It was made for, we're gonna give you $6 million. And he said, and 3 years later, the $6 million never showed up. And another company bought it and they said, we're gonna make it for $7 million or $5 million. And he said, and years went by and nothing happened. You know, and I went off and I wrote other scripts, but this was part of my heart and I knew I was gonna direct it, blah, blah, blah. Gary Winnick calls me, the guy who created Independent Digital Entertainment. And he goes, I'm positive I can get your movie made. And he said, I was overjoyed, here we go. And I said, what's the budget? And he said, $250,000. And the filmmaker went, wait, what? And Gary Winnick pretty much did to this dude what my ex-wife did to me. Do you want to make the movie or not? And it's got Katie Holmes in it and a whole bunch of other people you'd know. And he made it for $250,000. They went to Sundance and I think it sold for $5 million. Right? So Robert Rodriguez says, I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to see if filmmakers have it in their chest. They all got full usage of his studio in Austin that he built. You got 14 days, you got $7 grand, you got a run of the props department and all this other kind of stuff. Can you do it? And then the whole reality show is about if they can get it made or not. Reality show comes to an end, a commercial comes up at the end of that run. Rodriguez literally says, I was so inspired by getting these cats to do this, I need to see if I can do it again. And I'm doing it with my son. So they made a $7,000 14-day movie called Red 11. I think you can find it on iTunes. And I'm like, if you get to $130 million and it's still beating in your chest to make a movie for $7,000, I ain't worried about you. Because recently, I had a conversation with a couple of filmmakers who said that they were going to make independent. They individually said that they were getting ready to make an independent movie and they were waiting on the studio. What's your budget? Well, 30 mil. You can throw that my way. I'm gonna make 30 movies. Might make 60. The other one, like 27. But the thing that stuck in my head was one word: waiting. Right? And so I think the script that I'm sitting on, I haven't written it yet because I want to do it like this dude, where it's me, a camera, my homie, some lights, and some people making shit up as we go along. What's her name? Marianne Baptiste? What's her name? Thank you. So she's got a movie coming out from this director, Mike Lee. Mike Lee's been in the business since the late 60s. They did Secrets and Lies together. The way Mike Lee works is that he writes an outline for the movie, gives it to the actors that he's choosing, And then they get together and workshop the script. They come up with the dialogue while they're in the workshop, while they're in the room, while they're sitting across from, and he records it, and then he writes the script off of everything that they came up with. So it's very improv. Cassavetes used to do the same thing. And I feel like at a certain point, I think it's interesting that most of the complaints that I hear in the business are by people who are working. So what that says to me is you're not being fulfilled, right? And when I start to hear myself complain, I go, all right, we ain't doing that. So figure it out, right? I'm producing a documentary right now because I was sitting across from my friend and I was like, if there's a documentary made about anybody, there should be one made about you. Let's go. You know, so next year, not 2025, but 2026, you might come to Pan African and go, you got a movie? And I'll be like, yeah. And it's out of focus like a mug. But I'm gonna be super fucking happy with it. You know, and I tell this Robert Rodriguez story to a ton of people. Y'all got $6,000. If you stopped half of the shit you were doing, most people would have enough money to make their first indie movie for like 10 grand. And if you say, if you do the Field of Dreams and say, this is what I'm gonna do, my mans with his black magic will be like, can I shoot it? My mans with Da Vinci will say, you need me to cut it? Sorry, brother. You know, it's funny. Okay. But you'll know somebody who would. See what I'm saying? But the thing is, we all know enough people to get it done. But again, like I was talking about early on, that laser focus to succeed sometimes keeps us from realizing that there's gold right here. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was talking to George yesterday, George Tillman made Soul Food and Men of Honor and The Hate You Give, I think that's the title. George's first movie was a movie he made in Wisconsin for 200 grand. John Carpenter's first movie cost $70,000. Y'all, and by y'all, I mean everybody who's listening, you might want to put down the deadlines and the varieties and the Hollywood Reporters. Because the same way some people watch CNN and the same way some watch Fox News, they're both businesses trying to make money. And 175 words in an article is not going to tell you the full story of how somebody actually got something made or sold. But you can create that narrative for yourself. Anybody in here know who Ed Burns is, the filmmaker? Huh? No, he's not. Stop it. That's a good one, though. So Ed Burns made a movie called The Brothers McMullen. Made it for 25 grand. He was working for Entertainment Tonight. And he was like, I just want to be a filmmaker, blah, 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 blah. Made the movie for 25 grand. Somehow, the movie got to Redford. Robert Redford showed it, got it into Sundance. Ed Burns' career took off. Next thing you know, he's acting in movies with Angela Jolie. He's making his own movies. He's making movies for like 4, 5, 6, 10 million, 20 million bucks. He wanted to make this gangster movie, and he could not get financing for it. He said, I met a guy who was like, I'll give you $2 million to make it, but my girlfriend's got to be the female lead. And he was like, that's when I knew my career was over. And he went to bitching and moaning. And he was at a bar with his dad. And he goes, man, I can't make these movies and I don't know what's going on and blah, blah. And his dad said, didn't you make your first movie for 25 grand? And he went, yep. And here's what had happened. When he made Brothers McMullen, that was pre-digital. When his dad said that to him, Reds were starting to become a part of the visual language. And so he made a movie, got it in the can for, I think he got it in the can for 25 grand, and it eventually cost, me and these mics gonna fight. That eventually cost $200,000, $250,000, I think, and it was a movie called Nice Guy Johnny. He got a distributor. He premiered it at Tribeca Film Festival. And the distributor took it to this newly growing space called iTunes. And the movie blew up. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute. All of these people who are renting and buying movies from iTunes, I got a fan base that big? He goes, all right, let me try this again. He made another one. Same thing happened. He took it to Tribeca. This time he released it himself. He goes, let me try this again. The next one he made, he got in the can for 9 grand. Shot at all the restaurants he and his wife used to go to in the New York area. Called up some of his friends, hey, can I borrow your music studio? Sure. Did post on it for 100, and then wrote a book about it. The book's called Independent Ed. I tell a lot of people that. One person came back to me one day and said, I'm gonna write a script. I said, sure you are. He came back, he said, I wrote a script. I said, okay. He said, I'm gonna shoot it. I said, sure you are. He came back and he said, yeah, I got this space. It's a horror movie. It's all gonna take place in one day, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, bet. The man taught himself how to edit. Shot the movie, edited the movie. Calls me one day, he goes, hey, I'm having a screening. And I went, I'll be there. He was the only person out of hundreds of people that I spread this message to that heard me. Because eventually you got to S or get off the pot. Look, I censored myself. I'm so proud. I almost said shit. And he got distribution. And the best part is, I get 2 thank yous in the end credits. I'm like, you didn't have to give me none. He was like, yo, you kept riding me to do this. And I've watched you go from your first movie to where you are now, so you gotta be saying something smart, right? And the funny thing is, the only thing, this is no matter what your profession is, the only thing that keeps getting in the way is all of the indoctrination that tells you you don't want to do something that other people aren't doing. You don't want to do something that might not be important. You don't want to do something that might not work out. But buddy, if you ain't failing, you ain't living. And I fail a lot, right? There's no way you could have told me. There's a dude named Roger Corman. Roger Corman started Martin Scorsese's career, Francis Coppola's career, James Cameron's career, Joe Dante's career, and a host of other people. Roger was like, he came from a company called AIP, which made a bunch of blaxploitation movies. And Roger learned from that company that I'm not going to spend as much money as the studios spend to make movies. And he's made trash movies. He'll tell you, some of them are trash. And he did, so I ain't got to worry about it. But every now and then, something would sneak through, right? Because you're making movies for people. You ain't making movies for you. And the people who sit around and say that they're making movies for themselves usually miss out. Because even when people are enjoying it and they come to them and say, hey, I enjoyed your movie, I loved it. You don't understand what I had to go through. The same way you were entertained, you are now entertaining. And nobody's sitting at home going, did you spend 100,000 or 100 million? They want to come back and say, I like that movie. Right? Roger Corman, I was like, if I end up working for Roger Corman in my career, I won. But since I couldn't work for Roger Corman, I took the lessons from Roger Corman. And I'm a logo kid. How many of y'all are like logo kids? Like you have your favorite logo from studios, right? So when I was a kid, Paramount's logo was the logo for me. And then in TV, it was Steve Bochco, because he had an animated visual of his father playing the violin. And some of y'all might remember Sit Ubu Sit, Good Dog, or Bad Robot, right? Or Mutant Enemy, right? So when I was a kid, I was like, yo, I'm gonna have my own logo. I don't give a damn what it's on, I'm gonna have my own logo, right? So eventually, I got to a place where I was like, okay, well, you got to make your own movies. And the first thing I thought about was, I get to put my own logo on this joint. This is about to be fire. I don't care what y'all think about the movie. When you watch all the way to the end, you're gonna go, whose logo is that? Mine. That logo has been on a $300,000 movie and a $100 million TV show. Because I can't tell everybody else to do these things if I don't do them myself. You gotta watch who you're accepting as a teacher. I audited a screenwriting class. And when my man brought in the guest, it was this movie, y'all can look it up. It's called Jim Cotta. And this is no offense to this man, wherever he is. Kurt Warner, I think his name was the gymnast, and they stuck him in a kung fu movie. And when I was sitting in the back of it, and they said, you know, tonight's guest is Kurt Warner, and I went, I don't want nothing to do with that dude. Because the people who eventually taught me, and this is another thing, a mentor does not have to be in front of you to be a mentor, but y'all need to take y'all asses to the bookstore and the library. Because a lot of the stuff that I've learned from Scorsese has been through books, Coppola through books, because the word is valid. This is what I find funny. Folks who call themselves religious, who cling to the written word, And when I tell them, here's a book you should read about your business, that shit collects dust. And then 4 years later, they're stuck in the same place. Or they give me a call and they go, yo, man, can I talk to you? I'm still stuck in the same place. And I say, I'll say like, of course you are. You didn't read the book. Because you would have called me. And then I would have been able to tell you, use this, don't use this, use that, don't use that. Because every step that I have made has emulated every book that I've read about this business. Because this is how cyclical this stuff is. I read an interview with a writer from 1934 that helped me out of a situation in 2015. Be careful who you let teach you. But know that there's knowledge for what you want to do everywhere. And it's easily attainable. But you can't be bullshitting yourselves while you're reading it. You can't be bullshitting yourselves while you're making the baby steps. You can't be bullshitting yourselves when somebody comes along and says that you're not valuable or worth it. That's not your mission, to believe those things. If somebody comes to sharpen you, listen. If somebody comes to get in your way, that's their ego talking to your ego. If you take your ego out of the picture, you'll be able to see very clearly if someone's there to help you or to harm you. Back to Robert Rodriguez, though. Because I'm going to stay on you until you hit him and say, hey, man, I'm making a movie in Washington, Seattle, right? Yep, okay. Because there's probably a bunch of people up there with equipment just sitting around. Thank you. This dude made the movie. He had a screening. It's on iTunes. I think it's called My First Horror Film. He just hit me with an email about a month ago, and he goes, hey, this is my next script. I believe I got financing coming through. Y'all can wait if you want. You can go collect checks and pay bills, bills that you create. I'm making so much money, man, but I had to get a new car. Who told you you had to get a new car? As John Travolta said, they asked him one time, they said, how do you keep everything, like you got a plane, you got a nice house? He says, I don't buy nothing new. Because ain't nobody caring if it's new or not. You go out and you hit Balenciaga because it's going to make you feel good. But you really should be finding a writer that you can invest in to rent out a 99-cent seat theater so you can put on a play. But you don't think about it when you're in it because you don't think about the person that you're leaving behind. You have to move as one, the creative you, the business you, the young you, the you are now, and the you you're going to be. It's all the same damn person. When you make these sacrifices, what are you making the sacrifices for? Not a legacy. That's some bullshit. I know people want to go, you know what I'm saying, I'm leaving a legacy behind. There are people who talk about legacy but won't talk about death. Think about that. I'm leaving a legacy behind, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like make my mark, you know, I'm gonna prove to these cats, you know, Why? Work. Work where you can, work as you can, work with people that you want to work with. Find the people that are around you, because the one thing people don't understand is when you look up at somebody, they're not looking down at you because they're looking up at somebody. It's the people who look around that usually find soldiers to move forward with. And most of all, when you get tired, when you get beleaguered or whatever the word is, when you just feel like, oh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Not many people are going to agree with this. Quit. Just quit. If I don't want to do this no more. Go off and do something else. It'll call you back. You be over there brushing your teeth and they be like, hey, psst, psst. I can't believe you walked away, really? Leave me alone. Let's try it again. I quit every year. Every year. I'm not lying to you. When I got my first job, I was like, I can't deal with this. I quit. Because I'd never dealt with it before. You have to understand that every step forward, you're going into an unknown space. It's supposed to be hard. Mike don't put up 45 against the Knicks just because Mike woke up to put 45 against the Knicks. He got cut in high school. He got shut down by Dean Smith. He had to go through Doug Collins before he got to Phil Jackson. And Phil Jackson had to tell him, hey, man, you got to play with everybody else. I quit. Okay. See you tomorrow. Literally say the words, I quit. And then take a couple of days. Go get you some ice cream. Call your homie. I'm celebrating quitting. Where we going? 9 times out of 10, guess where you gonna go? To the movies. And think about this. There's nothing unique about what you're doing. But think about that in the best sense, because that means if it isn't, it can be done. I went to see Goodfellas when it came out in the theaters. Y'all don't know nothing about that. And I looked up, and what's his name? I can't remember his name. Anthony Dennison, I think is his name. He's a really good actor. He was in this show called Crime Story. Anthony Dennison was up for the Henry Hill role that Ray Liotta eventually got. I sat behind Anthony Dennison. I watched him watch the movie. And I went, this is what I find interesting. People think that like a job falls from the sky and lands, and people ain't gonna clamor for that job. A job lands in the middle of thousands of people that all want the same thing. And you gonna beat yourself up if you don't get it? If one fails, another one's gonna fall. The time that you should be spending preparing yourself for what's gonna fall next, you spend in misery. And then you call your homies and y'all get drunk off misery. Y'all make a diet off of complaining. Like, man, I didn't get that job, that's some bullshit. I hear you, bro. I'm gonna call you back, okay. Hey, what happened? I ain't get that job, man. They was on some bullshit. Word? Tell me. Oh man, you know, I went down there, I auditioned, I did my thing, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, we want somebody else. Oh man, that's terrible. All right, I gotta go. All right, I'll call you later. Hey, Will, what you doing? Chilling? Yo, you know I went up for that job, right?
I think that's the one you were telling me about.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I went in there and I did exactly what I was supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know all my lines,
Mm.
but I brought the passion. You know what I'm saying? And they motherfuckers like called my agent. And they were like, "Hey, you should learn his lines." Like, man, you did that. I'm trying to improv. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They weren't feeling you. Mm-hmm.
I gotta go. You don't understand that you're like basically pushing down the point where you will eventually have to explode past anyway. This is work, y'all. Y'all ain't running to get to that Burger King job that they offering. Acknowledge that. You ain't trying to pump gas. Acknowledge that. Don't think that the Lord is literally going, okay, I got to stop the world from ending and hold on. Hold on. Give her that job. So anyway, you know, get it yourself so he can be proud of you if that's what you believe. Or show the resiliency that you have. Because if you get one job before you die, you've done more than millions. Think about this. Every time I sold a script, the one thing I would say to myself is, I did something millions of people want to do and won't. And so if it's one job, 4 jobs, 6 jobs, or whatever, think about how exponentially that grows. But because you're looking at Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, you're going, oh man, they keep hiring the same person. You know what I'm saying? And this is crazy. And I don't know. I never liked them. No way. And they can't act. And blah, blah, blah. You taking time off of reading a book. You're taking time off of studying. You're taking time off of looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, how can I get better than I am right now? But people don't understand how tasty that meal of complaining is. There's way more people fat off of that than bad food. And enjoy it. Enjoy the struggle. And know that you ain't got to walk because there's a Montgomery boycott. My oldest kid is working with a genealogist and texted me the other day, I just found your great-great-grandfather who was born in 1780. I tell people all the time, I'm standing here because my ancestors stood. And if I just go back to my father, who, when he would go to pay the bill at Montgomery Ward's, and the white dude would see him at the end of the line, and then when he got up front, the dude would close the window. To me, working on a TV show, making good money, if it ain't for my old man, if it ain't for my ancestors, you think your ancestors would want to hear you complaining about the shit y'all complaining about? Man, my iPhone bill, what's that? iPhone. We had 10 cans on strings. We get so caught up in us. We get so focused on breaking through when there's nothing to break. I told an assistant one time, she sat down with me and she said, you know, I'm a storyteller and I feel like I'm not getting my chance to tell stories. you know, I want to, you know, get a TV writing job, da da da, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When y'all see me this nice, I'm on my best behavior. Because I keep it real with myself, so that means I keep it real with everybody around me. I said, let's pick that apart. You want to tell stories, and you're kind of upset that you can't get a TV job. You could stand on the corner and tell a story. You could write a play. You can write a poem. You can write a novel. You can write a short story. You can write a magazine article. Tell the truth. You want this job because there's prestige and it pays well. And the universe will hear you if you tell the truth. A lot of people be lying to the universe and going, I don't know what happened. And you got exactly what you want. You just weren't specific enough to ask for it the way it is. My mother used to say, I'd rather live across the street from a Klansman who tells me his truth than somebody who claims that they love me and is stabbing me all the time. That's what you got to do with the universe. The universe will give you exactly, I need a car. Your cousin calls you 3 weeks later and go, yo, my hoopty, you need some tires, but I was thinking about you. And you go, oh, I appreciate it, cousin. Damn. Hoopty. Man, I want to, you know what I'm saying? At least an Audi or something like that. Well, you didn't ask for it. So you got exactly what you wanted. But then you don't want to take responsibility for it when you get it because it ain't what you wanted in the first place. I am retiring in 6 years. When people say, what do you mean you're retiring? I said, I got everything I asked for. And I'm good. I don't want to die behind a camera at 81. I do not want to be on the CBS News. Charles Murray died today. 87 years old. He was on set, sitting in a wheelchair, working with the latest, greatest talent. And as he said, act. He never said shun. He will be remembered. And in other news, take it out of your system. Don't try to make a mark 20 years from now. Live here. Work with folks who want to make this fun. Work with people who just want to do good things. I won't work with people. If I hear that they're assholes, I won't take the job. My former agent said, why do you turn down so many jobs? I said, because I don't want to work with a lot of these people. He goes, but you gotta. I said, no. I don't gotta do nothing. And if I find myself one day in a situation where I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been spending this amount, now I gotta spend less, I'll spend less. I'll give shit away, I'll sell it. I'll go to a 1-bedroom apartment now that my kids are grown, and they'll be like, Charles, didn't you used to have? I sure did. But this is mine. We keep looking toward the wrong thing. We're being marketed to a certain way. They don't fly flags at half-mast when people kill themselves in this business. And when I mean kill themselves, I mean be it by suicide or be it by overworking. They'll give you money, but your You're a recyclable tin can. You're not a water pitcher that someone bought and loves and will constantly fill with water. You're a soda can, unless you choose to be something different. And that's what this is, because too many of us as creatives want to focus on the creative and not the business. That's what they, oh man, I can't, no, that ain't me. Oh, your accountant took 10 million bucks? Well, I mean, I trusted my accountant. We were friends. I went to. The business actually helps you be more creative, because the business will tell you to make business decisions that will ensure your creativity. Y'all know Eva Longoria? Did y'all read that article about her like 2 weeks ago? You know everything. I'm gonna make you, he gonna finish it out. Silent partner. John Wick needed money. She invested $6 million. Where do you think she got $6 million bucks from? She had to do good business to be good business. Sure didn't. Now she's a part of a multi-billion-dollar franchise. You can't keep waiting for other people. Anybody know the Duplass brothers? I'm going to come to you and say. The Duplass brothers had been trying to figure out how to get into the business. Oh, this is a weird thing. This filmmaker I know who was kind of in a depressed state. We were sitting out in front of a coffee shop talking about how to get his business going again. And I was saying, sometimes people think too big, you think small, you can contain it. You can figure it out. I said, there are a lot of filmmakers who started off small, stayed small until they could grow naturally. As I'm telling him this, I said, you know, it's like the Duplass brothers, because they were trying to figure out how to make films. It wasn't going well for them. And then one of them just decided to snatch up their parents' old video camera. They went into the kitchen, shot a scene that was like 3 minutes long. It felt like it was a complete film. They submitted it to Sundance and got into Sundance. Boom, their career took off. On my ancestors, I'm telling this man this story, and I look up, and here comes one of the Duplass brothers. And I turned to him and I said, you know what, if you don't believe me, ask him. And he turned around and looked at the dude. You know, he had on shorts, like he was doing that Amazon show about the dad who was going through transition. Thank you. And I said, excuse me. I was literally just telling my friend about you and your brother and how you guys got into the film business. And he goes, really? And I said, yep. And my friend looked up, and I said, that's one of the Duplass brothers right there. Talk to him. And the dude stopped. Talk to him. You can't do any more than that, right? But that's how simple it is. If you open yourself up to this universe will give you what you're looking for. But a lot of folks are asking for shit that they shouldn't be asking for at this particular moment. Yes. Hold on, you gotta wait for the mic.
1 second. This will be the last question.
I would love some book recommendations. I'm excited about business side of this industry, and I would love some book recommendations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll send Will a list. He can give it to all of you.
Thank you.
You know, but it's the ones that you don't want to read that you got to read, though.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Right? Because you'll go, oh, the acting one, yeah.
No.
I'm going to read this Uda Hagen book. So that's all I got.
I think Brandon had one.
Oh.
This has been amazing. This has been rich.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And
here's funny. This hat he's got on, my best friend when I was living in Dallas, Texas, His name Ken Yarbrough.
It's probably my cousin.
I'm here to tell you, this is no bullshit. I'm listening to this book called The Fourth Turning. I'm gonna get to your question in a second. I'm listening to this book called The Fourth Turning. The Fourth Turning is about how the world moves. That basically, new generations think that the world is different, but the world is the same. It just moves 4 times, right? So it's like peace, war, poverty, abundance, right? That's the basic version of it. It's way more complicated, as I'm finding out as I'm listening to this book, because I'm like, I got to listen to this again. How many of y'all have iPhones? Okay. How many of you got Samsungs or what's the other stuff? What you got? You got an iPhone? Okay. How many of you have multiple apps on your iPhone? Make you feel smart, right? But you got them on there, right? Just in case. There are millions of iPhones. There are very few people who made them. The number of people who created the iPhone is infinitesimal to the number of people who have iPhones. But part of the trick is to make the people who have iPhones feel smart for having them. Technology advances far beyond people. And the new generation, as they grow, think, you know, we ain't doing carts and buggies no more. We're doing Teslas. So we must be smarter. No, it was the few people who made the Tesla. And part of the marketing is to make you feel like you should feel smart for owning it. That's turn number 1. What I'm saying to you, this ain't different. This is different. Old camera, latest camera. The intent, the ideology, the desire to do something is as old as time. That's what makes you different from the other people that don't have it. It ain't hustle that makes you different, because there's a lot of fucking fools out there hustling and they look like they're on hamster wheels. It's your determination, because your determination will determine how you attack this thing. It's not rocket science what we're doing. Go.
Okay. Yes, this is amazing, and everything that you're saying is truth. My wife and I produced and co-directed a feature film, and starring. Thank you. Starring the amazing Will Catlett, my wife Jamila Yarbrough, Todd Anthony, and a whole slew of other folks. But one of the reasons why we had to do it ourselves is because of we tried to do the studio route, everything, the doors were closed. But I also believe, I don't know about everybody here, I don't know if this is just a room full of actors or if they're multi-hyphenates here, but another reason why we were able to do it is because my wife is a multi-hyphenate. She's a writer and actress, and director. Mm-hmm. I direct, produce, edit, you know, and you yourself are a multi-hyphenate, producer, writer, director. How important is it to be a multi-hyphenate? Sometimes, we hear, oh, you just gotta stay in your lane, focus on one thing. But how important is it to be a multi-hyphenate when you are creating your own? If you are an actress and you're not seeing the roles that you want to see, and you have to learn how to write.
Okay, so
and how do you sharpen those tools as you grow in those areas?
oh, damn it. Hold it. Read that on the mic.
Imperfect action every day done is better than perfect. Thank you.
You didn't think I came prepared, did you? I got 3 names for you. Stallone, Affleck, Damon. If ain't nobody else building it for you, what you gonna do? Issa started writing Awkward Black Girl because she was not seeing herself on TV and in films. If ain't nobody doing it for you, what you doing?
Yarbrough.
I'm done.
Wow. Well, I think Hana's going to end up closing y'all out because I have a private with Miss B. But wow.
I mean, I want to work with you, period, but especially when you do that musical. Real quick, I really do want to say thank you because I think you're one of the most brilliant people I've ever encountered. And I've only encountered you maybe 2-3 times before this. And I even told Will, I'm like, that's the smartest man I've ever met. So thank you for doing this. But I also want to lobby. I really hope you connect with him, or you connect with him, because he's another brilliant mind, and I believe that he can learn a lot from you. That's it.
Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Hold up. So, this is my, what, in hockey, what do they call it, a hat trick?
Hat trick.
Can you hold it for me? Okay, okay. And it means, what does it mean?
3 goals.
Okay, so I think I scored twice. All right, so, what's this, $20? Ladies and gentlemen. What is this?
Money.
There you go. Say it again. Okay. Paper that has something printed on it, and they tell you it's valuable, so therefore it's valuable. Somebody said currency. Who said currency? Okay. You're the currency. When you chase this, it always outruns you. But when you understand that you're the product, you can get it anytime, any place. Keep your skill set up. Somebody's going to want you. Trust me.
This shit up.
There goes the money for your film. Let's go.
Right? That's still 20. Well, what you gonna do with it though? Because I'm gonna make that back when I go to sleep tonight.
Take one of them as remembrance.
Here's what's funny. I got so many people that hit me up 5, 10 years later. They go, I still got that 20 you made me tear up. And their careers got better. Because as Jay-Z said, you're the business. So just keep that in mind. Watch how y'all move.
Give it up for Mr. Charles Murray.
My film comes out November 27th. Firstthemovie.com. You can pre-order it now. Pre-order it now. Thank you. I'll send you the link.
Let me tell you. Thanks again, Charles. We're gonna close. We're gonna close because we have an elite session next at 11. What time is it? Can I get everyone's attention? We're gonna close. Attention, please. We are about to close. Everyone first, give a round of applause to Miss Mac Marie. She is gonna have an elite session with Will. It is an hour of personal time with Will. Congratulations. Before we go, this is activation, and this is what I give you to leave with. I give you peace. I give you joy. I give you the application of what was just dropped here tonight. Take it, run with it, apply it, study it, get into those books. We're business people, and this is why we coined the term at the Academy, creative entrepreneur. You can be creative, but without the entrepreneurship, then you're just a creative. And we need to make sure that we can live from our gifts and make business out of it. We want to be sustained by it. And we want a bunch of products and things and offers and all those things to expand from it. So it's exciting. And what you got here tonight was truth. So I give you excitement. I give you joy. I give you faith. As you've heard from Charles, it is not an easy road. So let's not expect hardship, but let us be aware that it is a challenge, because it's not the normal road that everyone takes. So I give you rest. I give you calm. And when you are in doubt, I give you strength. I give you the ability to go back to the notes that you took. I give you the ability to be like Charles and say, I don't have to do anything. That really touched me. Like, I don't have to do what you say I have to do, but I just have to allow it to be, and I'll have to allow it to unfold the way that it was made to unfold. And I'll leave you with this, to remember that if you ask the universe and you be specific, like he said, and you be honest with what it is that you're asking for, that you shall receive it in the time that you need it, when you are ready to handle it, and when you are able to enjoy it. Thank you for coming to the Recharge October, and we shall see you when we see you.
am I saying? What is this? Oh, I was sure. Okay. Yeah. It's been another powerful night. For those who are watching online, I just want to say thank you for the Recharge October. Can't wait to see you in November. Keep doing it. Keep believing. Keep having the faith. And if you don't build it, they won't come. I'll see you soon. Peace.